Hey everyone, here's Kitwana. You already know my huge collection of Lifelike big cat plushies from episode number 43, which for example contains this one here, my very favorite lioness, which we looked at in detail in episode number 79. And today I wanna present you her mate and my favorite male lion plush that I have in my collection. So, which is this one here. And for that I have to move his lioness a bit out of the way, because this is a huge plushie, just like her. And look at that, we have a beautiful male lion here, its tail. And what we have here is, according to the tag, which you can find here, was being distributed by Burton Burton, which is an American party supplies online store and distribution company, specializing not only in plush but also balloons and other party supplies. And I actually got this plushie, I found it in 2016 when I was in Chicago for Midwest Fur Fest. I had a day off and went to the Lincoln Park Zoo, and in the gift shop they had one last example of this beautiful plush for sale, and the price tag was $160. But since I have been on the lookout for so long for a male lion that would fit my lionesses, it was actually a no-brainer. So I adopted this beautiful lion, and it was quite memorable and funny, by the way, since I didn't travel home to Switzerland immediately after Midwest Fur Fest. In fact, I continued on to Seattle and Los Angeles, and it was it made for many funny looks when I took it onto the domestic flights that I had to use to get to my destinations. TSA was actually quite amused about it, but it was no problem to bring it on board, especially Alaska Airlines that took me from Chicago to Seattle was very friendly, and they said as long as he fits into the overhead bins, it would be okay to take it on board the aircraft's cabin. So that's what I did, and he survived the ride and the long trek back to Switzerland to my den, except that the seam across his back, which you can see here, this seam popped once. But it was thankfully the mother of my good friend Uniweighted Fox, who is probably watching this video, fortunately sew it back together, and it's still holding up until today, as you can see. But let's start looking at this lion in more detail, and at all of his parts, starting with the fantastic head. And I think he looks great. Look at that handsome face. It looks like it's almost a bit sad and thoughtful, but that's what makes him a very friendly and huggable lion. I really like the airbrush details, as you can see above the eyes. The airbrush details, and you can see the tear ducts with the black stripes and the white around his eyes. It helps him to see, to have better vision at night. Just like all of my big cat plushies, he has a molded head, as you can hear. It's the same, it's the very same with her. This is also a molded head. And molded heads allow for much more realistic design. You can see various details. You can see he has a plastic nose. It looks very realistic. And as we go around his muzzle, you can see his whisker spots, his lips. Unfortunately, he did not come with any whiskers. But you can see the whisker spots at least, and that's okay. Makes for a much better experience when you don't have any whiskers in your way when you cuddle with him. And take a look at the mane. A funny detail is that on top of his head there's a little hook incorporated into the plushie. I'm not sure what purpose this is supposed to serve. I mean, I would not hang up a plushie like this, and it's way too heavy anyway. So I'm not sure what's the point of that. But what I definitely like is how the main color flows from a tan golden into a brownish black, more like a black. And as you may know, the older a lion is, the more black parts are in his mane, and the more attractive a lion is to the female lionesses. The hairs are very high quality. They actually stay very compact, and they can be brushed as well. So they don't really go wild, but still, of course, need some tender loving care every now and then, just like every lion does. And then take a look on his front legs. And you can see the black markings that are supposed to be his claws. And you can see the paws underneath being painted as well. They look really nice, really sharp, very nice airbrushing. You can see it here on his left paw as well. And they're also rather soft. The plushie is just right between not too soft and not too hard, so it's definitely huggable and squeezable. However, it cannot, the head does not move as well, so it's not stuffed as soft as some other plushies of this size. For example, this lioness here can lower her head much better than her male counterpart, but that's okay. I mean, it definitely makes for some good cuddles. I'll take a look at his body. I think the proportions are just right. Definitely should not be shorter compared to the size of his head. That's a very important for me, very important point for me when I choose these plushies. The proportions have to be right, and way too often their bodies are too short compared to the size of their heads. It's probably to save material and to make it cheaper and smaller. But I definitely prefer to have my plushies look realistically proportioned, and size definitely matters. In my case, I prefer to have them as large as possible, so they feel as realistic as possible. Take a look on his knees here on the back. You can turn it around like this so you can see it better. These are also very nicely sculpted and stuffed. However, a little disappointment on his rear paws. You do not see the paws. They actually forget to spray paint them. That would be too bad. Unfortunately, this was the only lion they had on display, the very last one they had in the store, so I wasn't able to compare. But this is definitely, for a plushie of this size, this quality and this price, remember, $160. I definitely would have expected that they would do the same, like on the front paws, and spray the paws as well. What's very nice is that the fur color goes into a very light tan. It's almost white on his belly, and the mane does not go all the way around, so it's probably still more of a young adult lion that this is supposed to depict. You can also see the ears still sticking out of his mane. The tail is very nicely stuffed and very appropriate in length. That's very good to see. Solidly stuffed and ends in a brown tuft, which is actually the similar type of hair, actually the same type of hair that was used for his mane. That's really good. And speaking of his mane, when I turn him around from the right hand side, you can see that big, beautiful mane much better. I really like the realistic coloring. Most lion plushies you see have only a one color mane, usually all black, which is not realistic at all. It's always at least two colors flowing into each other, and they did that really, really well. I really like the color flow on this plushie. That makes him look very realistic. Let's look at it from the front. You can see the face. I think the face is really cute. Don't you think? The nose. I could have done his lips a little bit better, a little bit more black, but other than that, that's it. This plushie is totally worth the price. Save for that minor slip up, that they didn't paint the rear paws. I have been looking this up on Burton Burton's website, and unfortunately they no longer carry him, so I've only seen a big golden tiger that they still have, which would fit perfectly into my collection. It's a really huge one and very realistic looking one, but unfortunately the lions are sold out. So your best bet is to check out zoo gift stores, especially across the US. I know this, of course, as the text says, they all come from China, and it's pretty hard to track them down to the exact factory they were made at, but I have a strong suspicion he came from the same factory like this lioness and many other of my life-size big cat plushies, which is a cluster of factories in Weihai, China. I'm giving you 2 links in the description of the video so you can check out for yourself. Unfortunately, I don't think you can order there as a end consumer, but it may still give you an idea where to start your hunt. And every now and then these lions do pop up on eBay, so good luck hunting them down. Actually, size, we didn't talk about the size yet. Let's see. We start from the nose to where the tail begins. It's around 120 centimeters. That's around 47 inches, 50 inches. And with the right front paw stretched out, this even goes up to 160 centimeters, that's 62 inches. So this is a big plushie and actually very similarly sized to the lioness. So I made these two a couple, and they are the best friends in my pride. Let's see how big the head is. And that comes up to around 45 centimeters, that's around 18 inches. You can see it's a little bit smaller than the lioness, but still, let's say they make a very good couple. If we put them together like this, and they can actually rub their heads against each other, just like real lions. And that's what I really love about these plushies. They really make you feel that you own a real lion pride in this case, and that's why they will remain as my favorite ever toys that I have in my collection. And I really doubt I will ever give them away, since I cuddle with them each and every night, and they mean so much to me, both the lioness and the male lion here. So if you are a fan of lions or big cats in general, there's definitely no way around at least one of these plushies for your home. You will love them as much as I do, and if you have the space and the budget for them, definitely go for one of these. So thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Kitwana's Toys. I'll be back next Saturday, of course, and I hope you will be too.